like,
Hey, what's up, fam? We're back on another episode of 49 Faithfullee. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest filling in for the co-host. We have Denise in the house. Denise.
what's up? What's up?
What's up? I wish we were going live with some better news than what we just saw. Obviously, we know the 49ers lost to the Bears 19-10 in a very sloppy play, sloppy weather, sloppy everything, sloppy officiating, an all around sloppy game. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me.
How am I feeling? Okay, well, first of all, 49er football is definitely back. And you know how we know that, everybody? This is how we know. We know because the officials hate us. That's how we know. And yes, I know people are going to say, oh, come on, Denise, some of those calls were legit. Yeah, some of them were legit. And I absolutely agree. Some of those, like the face mask call against Greenlaw, was absolutely legit. And some of the other calls were absolutely legit. The first call on Greenlaw, when everybody was on Twitter bitching, I'm sorry, that call was not legit. He didn't even touch Fields. He actually flew over Fields. He didn't even touch him. BS call, never should have been called. Oh, that shit pissed me off. And then the Al Shire call, complete BS call, also never should have been called. And then, I'm sorry, the BA call, pushing off. I'm sorry, does that call remind anybody of the Super Bowl? Because it sure did me. That's what I saw. I was like, what the F?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can every other team in the NFL push off except for the 49ers? Because that's how I'm starting to feel. Yeah. Like, George Kittle is not allowed to extend his arm. BA, not allowed to extend his arm. But everybody on the Chiefs can extend their arm. Everybody on the Bears can extend their arm. Everybody in any other NFL effing team can extend their arm except for the 49ers. Their receivers cannot extend their arms. Absolutely not. Because if they extend their arms, they're getting called. That shit pissed me off. So yes, did we play sloppily? Yes, we did. And I am sorry for all you people out there that are going to be like, oh, Trey Lance sucks. We should have picked Justin Fields. He was way better. Nah, man, I'm sorry. Justin Fields, the only reason your punk ass and your punk ass team won that fucking game was because of officiating. And anybody who disagrees with me, come at me. I'm ready. I'm loaded. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
So Spicy Denise showed up today. I love it. I love it. Yeah. I mean, with those penalties in that, last drive, that last touchdown that the Bears scored, it was seriously the 49ers just walking the Bears down and handing them the touchdown pretty much. Like, every third down, there was a freaking penalty. It's like every time I thought our defense finally had it stopped, there was a penalty. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And it was all the way down the entire field. Yeah. And at that point, they said the Bears had 0 penalties in the second half. It's like, it was disgusting. Like, I can't even believe it.
And our O-line play, oh my God. But oh my God. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Is anybody showing up to protect Trey Lance, or is it just me? Like, what am I watching right now? Like, even Trent Williams, even Trent got beat a couple times. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, oh my God. Oh.
And then in the second half, we all went into this game thinking, oh, they're going to run the ball a lot because of the weather conditions. In the second half, I felt like our run game was doing absolutely shit. Like, after Mitchell went out, forget about it. And let's talk about that too, is that Mitchell is now hurt with a knee injury. He was, it wasn't even like, oh, he might come back, may return. They ruled him out right away.
Well, not just that. Okay, so I will say, I mean, oh God, thank God we only left with one injury. That was the only thing that I was like, oh, please, God. Oh, please, don't let anybody get hurt. I'm like, because that field was god awful. Like, it was, I mean, there was like what? Like it seemed like I know I'm exaggerating, by the way. It seemed like there was 20 feet of water. Like it was flipping ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you know as well as I do, Miriah, which is gonna infuriate the shit out of me, is Monday. Oh my God, national media, all the 49er, everyone who flipping hates Trey. Oh my God, is it going to be dump on Trey? It is going to be dump on Trey day. It's going to be like, oh God, did you see how bad he played? Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, they can't even beat the Bears with Trey Lance. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? I got news for everybody. Jimmy Filopolo would have done no better in that game. So anyone who thinks that we should put Jimmy in because Jimmy Filopolo's punk ass would have done better, I got news for you. He would not. So all you Jimmy stands need to sit down and shut the fuck up. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, there were plenty of plays that we saw Trey moving up in the pocket, extending the play, and then extending plays with his legs. None of those plays would have been possible if Jimmy Garoppolo was in there. Like, none of that.
Exactly. And let's call a spade a spade. Stupid ass, I mean, Fields, it's like the only like touchdown I give Fields actual credit for is the one that he threw to Dante Panties, because Dante Panties was wide open because we busted coverage and left his gas wide open, because you and I and everyone who's ever been a 49ers fans knows if you had Dante Panties covered, his punk ass wouldn't have caught the ball because he doesn't like to be hit.
Yep. Yeah, I think that was, you know, that it summed up this game, was that Dante Pettis was their first touchdown against the 49ers. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Out of all fucking people, like, that's who you guys are letting score the touchdown? Like, oh my God.
That's exactly.
And then you guys this cat celebration, and then he goes over there and he like runs up and jumps against Fields. It's like, you better watch out. You're going to knock that guy out. I'm like, that'll be his only touchdown he scores all freaking season, and it had to be against the 49ers, you know, like.
Oh, and you know what? You know Fields is feeling himself right now. You know Fields is over here like, yep, Shanahan, you should have picked me. Picked me, but you picked Trey. I'm like, you know what, punk? Don't think you're all that in a bag of Chiz-Ips. I said, don't get me wrong. I wanted Fields. I did. I'm not going to sit here and stand up here and lie, because you can go back to my account and look. I did want Fields. I was pressing hard for him. That's who I wanted. But I still don't give a shit when anyone says this game is not on Trey Lance. Fields literally got walked down. At least 2 of their touchdowns were given to them by the 49ers, because it was like penalty, 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 penalty. Oh, here's an easy touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I said, the only one I'm actually giving him credit for is the one that Dante Panties caught, because it was a broken coverage.
I'm going to see what their stats were. So Trey Lance was 13 of 28 for 164 yards and an interception. Fields was 8 of 17 for 121 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But, you know, like that first half, I mean, Fields didn't do shit either. You know, it was that second half when we started getting all those fucking penalties that they finally started doing something.
That's what I'm saying. Like two of his touchdowns were literally gifted to him, gifted to him by us. Like I said, some of those penalties were warranted. They were definitely warranted. But some of those penalties, oh my God, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And I am sorry. Like, really, we breathe on Justin Fields and we get roughing calls. And they literally got 20 linemen on top of Trey Lance. He doesn't get shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dog pile, Trey Lance, it's all good. No worries. But, you know, blow on fucking Justin Fields, and it's like roughing the passer call. I'm like, oh my God, somebody just shoot me.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like we couldn't get anything going. I mean, the first half, when we first started coming out, you know, that first drive before Debo fumbled, it looked great. I was like, damn, okay, this is going to be a good game, you know, like, yeah. And then Debo fumbles, and it was like, we never got shit going after that, I felt like.
Yeah. And And I will say that kind of bothered me because I still think that Debo and him are not in sync. You know what I mean? It just feels like they're not like, and I'm saying that, but I don't know if it was the weather or if it was just they haven't built that chemistry yet. Like if they're not like in sync. So I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's them or if it was the weather. Like I'm not sure which one, which one's more true.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of stuck in the middle on that. I'm like, well, because the fumble, I blame more on the weather than I blame on Debo. Like everyone was shitting on Debo, and I'm like, you guys, like they're literally playing in almost a hurricane, it seems like. You know what I mean? Like Jesus Christ, like the wind was ridiculous, the rain was ridiculous. Like, come on, man. Like, I mean, like, come on, let's be honest, dude. Like, and I'm sorry, like, I swear, like, if people are going to come out and blame Trey Lance, that's bullshit, dude. Like, his first game, like, literally, like, here, Trey, welcome to the NFL. Your first game's in a hurricane. Good luck. Hope it works out for you. 50-mile-per-hour winds and, or how do you say that? Whatever, downpour rain, whatever they call that.
So we have a Bears fan in here. Welcome to the chat. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yay.
He says, as a Bears fan, I just want to thank y'all for passing on Fields for bust Lance. Then he says,
Whatever.
Our D-line is shit and Lance still could not perform.
You know what? If I wouldn't get fined, I'd pull my pants down and tell you to kiss my white ass. All right? How about that?
Yep. And I'm glad that we passed on Fields too. So you may have got the laugh today, but you were not going to get the last laugh. So it's all right.
That's right, homeboy. Come talk to me and come talk to me in 3 years and we'll see who the bust is. All right, homie? Come talk to me then.
Like, that's pretty sad if you want to start calling a quarterback a bust after one game, because we surely could have called Fields a bust after every fucking game he played last season. So let's not get it twisted.
I was going to say, your quarterback played every fucking game last year. And how'd he do? How'd he fucking pan out? It's like, I didn't hear you guys calling him a bust last year. And I'm sorry, he didn't look all that in a bag of Cheez-It, did he?
Yeah. He came out looking just as sloppy and shitty, just the same, except he got a bunch of penalties that saved his ass. So if it weren't for those penalties, you wouldn't be in here trying to talk shit right now. So
exactly.
But thank you for coming. Hit the subscribe button and like and find your way out the door. Thanks.
Right. Tell your friends. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Come in, talk shit, subscribe, send a super chat, hang out. We love it. That's right, homeboy. Come in, be a friend.
Out of all, there's like probably 10 other 49er shows going right now, but Mr. Jeff Tough Barber wants to come into the show with the two females and try to talk shit. So congrats. You're a big man. We appreciate you though.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think that the run game, obviously, like I said, after Mitchell got hurt, and hopefully it's not serious, but from the sounds of it, it sounds serious.
I know, dude.
They just stuck with Jeff Wilson the entire game. You know, it's already weird that TDP was inactive. And then after Mitchell goes out, we don't see Mason come in the entire time. It's like we have a wet, sloppy game. We were only down by one touchdown at that, or one score at that point. It was 3 points, and we're still playing as if we're down freaking 3 scores. Like, we're not running the ball. We're not doing shit.
I was kind of shocked, I have to admit, and you know me, I'm a huge Kyle person, but I have to admit, I was kind of shocked that Kyle didn't put more running backs in the game. I was like, Kyle, what are you doing? Like, hello? Like, I'm like, did you only dress Jeff Wilson Jr.? Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. And the other thing that kind of pissed me off was the running, which it does every year. This is one thing about Kyle that drives me crazy. And you know me, I love Kyle. I love him. Probably more than any other 49er fan on the planet. I love Kyle. But I cannot stand running it up the gut when it's not working. It drives me insane. It drives me crazy. I'm like, run it up the gut. I'm like, Kyle, it's not working. Kyle, it's not working. Kyle, it's not working.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, that's me, Miriah, literally in front of my TV going, Kyle, it's not working. Like, fucking crazy. Like, I know that motherfucker can't hear me, and I'm yelling at the TV like, I'm like sitting here like psycho yelling at the TV, and my husband comes in, he's like, he can't hear you. I'm like, yeah, I know. Makes me feel better, okay? I know he can't hear me. Makes me feel better to yell at his dumb ass because he fucking pissed me off. Like, Kyle, running you up the gut is not working.
It sucks, that Mitchell got hurt and hopefully he's not out long. But if that's the only injury that, happened and we get out of this game injury free besides that, that'll be a plus because.
Oh, no, I agree with you, girl. That when Mitchell went out and they said he wasn't coming back, I was literally like, oh God, please God. I literally started praying. I was like, please God, don't let anybody else go out. Like, don't let anyone else get hurt because like that rain was, I'm telling you, dude, like I said, it was like, that's why Mr. Jeff or whatever the F his name is, Bear fan, kiss my ass fan. That's what I got to say. Like you people kill me. Trey Lance is a bust. Really? Because I'm sorry, for somebody's first game of the 2022 season, his third NFL start in a hurricane, I think he played pretty damn well, actually. Yeah. Like, give me a break.
Yeah. Hopefully next week, when we're in normal conditions, we can actually see, a better game plan put together. And because this, I don't know, I think it was just a mess from top to bottom. Like I said, the field, the play, the officiating, the penalties.
Oh, I can tell you one thing about Kyle. I definitely feel sorry for those players because Kyle is going to be chewing some asses because those penalties, warranted or not, he is going to be chewing some asses because 2 of those touchdowns that Fields got were all because of penalties, homeboy. So you can sit there and put your quarterback up on a pedestal, but even the commentator said the 49ers shot themselves in the foot. So 2 of those touchdowns, take those penalties away, you can take those touchdowns away, homeboy. So there you go.
Yeah, he can pound his chest all he wants and put Fields on a pedestal because he'll be knocked down real fast. So we've seen how many times he was on his ass, even during this game. So, I mean, the guy wants to come out and act like Fields is a superstar.
Hey, don't get me wrong, Bears fan. I like Justin Fields. I do. And I hope Justin Fields succeeds. But you didn't hear any of us 49er fans coming out last year and dogging your QB. So my thing to you is you should shut the fuck up because you don't know what Trey Lance is going to be yet. You can't call him a bust after 3 games. No one came at your guys' quarterback and called him a bust after a whole season of games. And I'm sorry, he didn't look good. Neither did Trevor Lawrence. Neither did Zach Wilson. Actually, the only one who looked even halfway decent was Macaroni Jones, and nobody wanted that punk motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you really want to talk shit? Let's talk shit, homie. Because nobody wanted Macaroni Jones, and out of all the QBs that got picked, even over the number 1 QB, Trevor Lawrence, Mr. God's gift to QBs, his punk ass didn't look good last year either.
And he lost today too.
Oh, did he? Mr. Wonderful? Mr. What do we call him with his locks of hair?
Sunshine.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Sunshine. Sunshine.
That sounds like the most ridiculous name for a football player. Sunshine. Like,
that's the movie. Remember the title?
Yeah. That's
I actually love that movie, by the way. But yeah, that is funny.
So yeah, anything else you want to talk about? We're just doing a short little episode here, and we'll be back sometime during the week to break everything down and break down next week's game as well.
Yeah, I mean, not really. It's like the penalties, and then I just like it just wasn't good. Like it's
one thing real quick, the bright spot, if there was a bright spot of this whole thing,
Was there a bright spot?
Talanoa Hufanga. That guy.
Oh,
Holy shit.
yes.
Man, did he look freaking so nice out there. And like I said during the halftime show on Nothing But Niners is that he looked like that. And that's without Jimmy Ward playing next to him. He looked like that with the safety that we pulled up from the practice squad to play next to him. So now imagine when Jimmy Ward's back, how great. You know, Jimmy Ward's been hyping up this safety tandem the entire offseason. You know, I can't wait till we see those two together because Huff was everywhere. Whether he was making the ball was 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, he was back there making a tackle. If it was 10 yards the opposite direction, he's over there making a tackle. He had the interception. He had, every single play he was there making it. It didn't matter what part of the field.
I will definitely say that you hit the nail on the head, girl. The bright spots were definitely Huff, and our secondary is definitely way improved. Like our secondary is way improved, and even though, like I said, they got their touchdowns, they won the game, but I think that was more because of the penalties than them. There was only one broken coverage, and that was the Dante Panties fucking touchdown. That was that touchdown. That's the broken coverage. But other than that, it's like our secondary played well, and so did and Huff. He was phenomenal. Yeah. He was so phenomenal, dude. You're right. He was everywhere. He was fantastic. He was so good.
Tia says the defense got tired, and you've seen them, like even towards the end of the third already, the guy, that's in the best shape of anybody, Bosa, and he's there. You could just tell he was freaking drained. Like he's like, because they couldn't get off the fucking field.
Yeah. Well, and someone can correct me. Maybe the Bears fan can correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know if I'm wrong or right.
Hopefully he's gone. Right?
Oh, is he? Well, that's, of course. Maybe he went to another 49ers after show to talk shit to other people. But isn't Soldiers, isn't it like high altitude over there or whatever, like makes it hard to play there? Or am I wrong? Am I thinking of somewhere else?
That's the Broncos.
Oh, that's the Broncos. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I asked, because I couldn't remember. I know there's a stadium that they say is really, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's Denver,
the altitude. So that's why I asked.
We do have to go to that this year, but not yet. But yeah, I mean, if this is any indication of how Huff's going to play throughout the season, man, and the knock everybody said about him was his speed. Well, you don't need speed when you have instincts like that. Like the guy just knows where to be. He's making the play before the offense is even making it, he's just so good. Like if he continues to play like that, I know, this is just game one, but this is a overreaction show. So if he continues to play like that, he's definitely going to be a Pro Bowl safety this season.
Oh, he was phenomenal. And even the commentators were stating that he was like reading the play before the play was even, and I'm sorry, to me, he had good speed because he was like, tackling the one and then turning around and going back to the other play and like making a second play. Like he was making 2 or 3 plays in one play. Like he was phenomenal. He
has great game speed. He just doesn't have straight line freaking track speed, which when we figure out why that matters for a defensive player, I'll never know, but since when do they have to run a 40, like that just doesn't happen.
He was so awesome. And you know what? Like you said, of course the defense was tired. I mean, give me a flipping break, man. They were on the field the whole flipping game.
Yep.
Like Jesus, like we could not string together. Like, and that's what I felt bad because I know that's what the media is gonna focus on against Trey Lance. That's what they're gonna focus on. They're gonna be like, well, he couldn't maintain, he couldn't string together plays. But, our receivers, and what's funny? You ever notice something? No one ever talks about Juwan Jennings. Like he always gets like shit on during practice.
Nice, like too.
Right? They always say like in practice, like, oh, Juwan Jennings dropping passes. He doesn't look good, blah, blah, blah.
We didn't see him dropping passes today when it was rainy and slippery conditions. He wasn't the one dropping passes and fumbling, huh?
Right? Thank you. That's what I have said that. I kept saying that on the other show. I kept saying, I was like, you know what? I'm like, Juwan Jennings, I truly believe that he is a football player. Like when the game's there, he shows up, and he's just not a good practice player. Like that's what I believe. Like
because he likes to get hit. He likes to hit, like that's his game. And you can't do that in practice. He's not going to be there busting out our defensive guys, like,
right.
Come on. But yeah, I mean,
I truly believe that because like he was I'm sorry. Well, Brandon Ayuk, I felt bad because I thought Brandon Ayuk played well, but he got that penalty. And I think because we had the momentum and we got that penalty, and I think we were like headed to a touchdown had we not got that penalty against Brandon.
Yeah, that was that was shitty.
Oh, that was such a bad call.
But I mean, at least, obviously it's never good that we lose. Like David said, this was a wake-up call. And I had said that, to the guys before I got off over there that maybe this is what, of course, let me say again, we don't want our team to lose. But, they did. So we have to find, the silver lining in it. That now, they got their butts kicked by a team that they should have went out there and destroyed. So maybe this will get their asses in freaking gear, because it's not like watching them. It's not like I looked and was like, oh shit, this season's done because this team looks like shit. That wasn't the case whatsoever. Like you could tell these players are good out there, but it was just stupid shit that kept happening and piled up and snowballed. And that was it, I think there's a lot that these guys are going to learn from. And, I'm expecting that next week they're going to come out and they're going to be a lot more disciplined, and it's not going to be looking like this shit show.
Well, that's why I said, and you know how Kyle is. Kyle is one of those coaches. He is going to be pissed off about these penalties. He is going to be mad. So he's going to chew some asses about these penalties. He's going to be like, he's literally going to show the film and be like, this is why we lost the game. Like, this is why we lost. Like, you cannot have this. Like, you cannot give them, what was it? Was it 75 yards or how many yards was it? Penalties. How many penalties was it yard-wise? The last count was 75. I'm not sure if that's where we ended. I don't think it was.
We had 12 penalties for 99 yards.
Yeah. Almost 100 yards in penalties.
100 fucking yards the 49ers gifted the Bears. 100 yards. They had 3 penalties for 24 yards.
Yep.
Wow.
So, yeah, that Bears fan absolutely can kiss my ass.
Like, we dominated on every side of the board, but it's those freaking penalties. Time of possession, we killed them. Yards per play, we killed them. Rushing yards, we killed them. Passing yards, we killed them. Total yards, we killed them. But we also killed them in penalties, so.
No, but that's Miriah, think about that. 100 yards in penalties. 100 yards. And that Bears fan had the balls to come in here and talk shit to us about Trey Lance? Really? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But like I said, we weren't looking at a team that looked like shit, like a shit performance. Like 4.9 yards per play they had. The Bears had 3.6. Like they did what they needed to do, except that fucking penalties.
Well, exactly. If we had actually not, like the commentator said it, like literally, if we had not shot ourselves in the foot, I don't think the Bears win this game. I think we win the game. Even if we would have won by 1 point, 2 points, whatever, I think we would have won the game. We shot ourselves in the foot. It's like, that's the thing with the 49ers. Usually when we lose games like this, like when we lose games that we should win, it's usually because of us, not because of the other team.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. All right. Also, before we close, I just wanted to say, today, and Nothing But Niners always does this through their Patreon. They stream the game, and then you have us there, on stream with the game, whatever. Well, today, they have this new program that people or other content creators are now doing, play feedback or watch feedback or some shit, right? that they're doing the same thing now. So we're guessing that it's another 49ers content creator that did this. They paid to become a Patreon member for Nothing But Niners and spent the entire game reporting the fucking streams that we had going. So like every 5 minutes, our stream that we had would get reported and completely cancel out. And Mike would have to create a new stream. Everybody would have to leave the chat, refresh their thing, come back in, like every 5 minutes throughout the entire game. So let me just say that if you guys can't do your own thing without worrying about what other people got going on, you know, like that's a bitch ass pussy move. Like none of the people, they're paying to watch us. If you can't get people to watch you for free and are trying to take our people that are paying to watch us, well, I'm sorry, because that's more of a you fucking problem. You know, instead of trying to ruin what other people have going on, maybe you should spend that time investing in your own self and trying to build your own shit up. Because that's a bitch move.
Wow.
You know, I, for one, am always trying to boost up other 49ers content creators. You know, I spend time taking away from my family to spend time in other people's chats just to show fucking love. And one of you guys is going to come and try to destroy what we have going on over there. So let me just make it real fucking clear. It's not going to work. If you want to keep leaving what you got going on to come and report what we have going on, keep doing it, buddy, because we're not scared. There's a list of every person that signs up for Patreon. We know exactly what other content creators now have this other thing going on. It's not that hard to, you know, put the links together. I was a private investigator for 15 fucking years. So if you think that we're not going to find out who's doing it, like you're sadly fucking mistaken.
So
that's a bitch move.
So what happened? So someone, you're saying, like, recorded what you guys were doing?
No, they were just going to report the stream. So since it's like an NFL, like he does it through Patreon because then you can put the game up without it just, you know, like if you tried to stream an NFL game just normally on YouTube, it'll get flagged right away. You can't do it. So through Patreon, you're able to do it. But if somebody reports it saying that you're doing it, it gets taken off because it's still flagged for privacy, NFL, whatever laws.
But even if you, like, let's say you guys have it on your TV and you're streaming it that way, it still gets flagged?
Well, that for sure gets flagged, but we have it actually streaming on the screen. But he's done this for years, like 5 years already. He's been doing this. And now because other people this season, you know, they started doing this other thing, like they want to try to destroy what, you know, somebody else has going on to try to get the people to leave theirs, you know, oh, this is too much of a hassle. Let me just go watch the game with these people, you know, or whatever. Like, it's sad. It's really sad. Like,
you know, here's what I gotta say is, like, I agree with Miriah 100%. I try to follow everybody, and like I try to show love to all the content creators, because this is where I found my, you know, this is where I found Miriah, this is where I found Melissa, this is where I found, you know, Niner Mike, this is where I found, you know, Mike from Nothing But Niners, and Tony, and you know, the other Mike from Nothing But Niners, you know, or I'm sorry, not Mike, Nick. Like, this is where I found all, you know, Tanya, you know, like Locker Room Rant. Like, this is where I found all my, you know, all the people I follow and show love to. And like, I love all my Niner family. And like, really, like, you should not be like, this is one thing I don't understand about the Niner community. I do not understand why people spend their time trying to tear each other down instead of trying to bring each other up. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I really don't understand it. Like, I don't, like, you know, like, I see it all the time on Twitter, like, you know, people fighting each other and hating on each other. And I'm like, really? Like, and it cracks me up because it's like, oh, well, I'm a 49er fan, but you're talking shit to another 49er fan just because you don't disagree, or because you disagree with their take, or you disagree with, why can't you disagree with someone's take without being nasty and hateful? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I just don't get it. Like, and then like this, like, you know, you guys are streaming the game and trying to have fun and trying to interact with other 49er fans, and someone's reporting you to get it taken down. Like, really? Like,
so the entire stream, that's what we spent doing. Like,
Like,
it just
like
messes up the time for everybody. Like, instead of us having a good time watching the football team that we like all together, whether you guys are doing it here, whatever, we're all enjoying the game. But no, like, we can't do that because you guys want to keep being pricks for no fucking reason. Like,
but that's
it's
what
just
I don't,
pissy behavior.
I don't like, here's my thing. Like, okay, like if they're doing it and you want to do it too, big fucking deal. Just leave them alone and let them do it, and then go do it on your stream. Like, who cares?
Exactly. That's what I said. Like, it
Like,
just doesn't make sense. And now at the end, Mike's going to set up his stream for his live reaction show, and now YouTube's telling him you can't even create streams anymore. So, it was to the point where his channel probably got taken down. So now he has to fight with YouTube and everything to get his shit reinstated because somebody wants to do this bitch shit.
So basically the same shit that happened to Jesse.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, people need to really like I just don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand the hate and the like, oh, this person's trying to out, like, you know what? Like, people, like, there's enough hate in the world. There really is. Like, and I'm not even talking about football right now. I'm talking about life in general.
Yeah.
There is enough hate in the world. Like, instead of tearing people down, you should really look to lift people up and try to be more positive. Because you know what? I don't know if any of you watch the news or pay attention to what's going on outside of football, but there's a lot of hate and a lot of bullshit going on in the world right now. So you should really try to lift people up and be positive instead of being negative and being hateful, because we got enough of that shit in the world. We don't need any more of it.
Yep, I agree. And like, I spend so much of my time, for this channel trying to promote giving back, promote love, promote, supporting each other. And it's like, and then somebody wants to come and do that shit. And it's like, yeah, it wasn't directly affecting me, but I'm part of what's going on over there too, So it's like, you may have a problem with Mike, or you may have a problem with somebody else, but like, you're affecting me too. Like, so, or you may have a problem with me and you're doing it and affecting what they got going on. So it's just like, it's so fucking unnecessary.
But that's the thing, is like, again, one more time, people, like, you don't have to join the stream. Like, you don't have to join Patreon if you don't want to join. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, Mike's not forcing you to join his Patreon. Like, if you don't join, don't join. Like, if you want to stream the NFL game on your channel, then go stream on your channel. And if people come to your stream, great. If they don't, they don't. Like, build your channel and do what you have to do on, do what you've got to do on your time and on your channel. Like, don't try to take other people down. That's bullshit. Like, that's not fair. People spend a lot of time and a lot of effort to build their channels. And you know what? That's not fair to anybody. And yes, there's a lot of 49er content creators out there. Follow the ones you like and support the ones you like. And if you don't like the other ones, then don't support them and don't, support their channel, like, whatever. But like, stop trying to tear each other down. Like, Jesus, people, like, come on. Like, I just don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand.
It makes me even more sick that if it is another 49ers content creator, like, how much time and work and everything goes into having a channel and whatever, let alone a channel the size of what they have over there. Like, they have spent years and years and years of time invested into that, working a job and spending 40 to 80 hours doing this, like, on top of it. And somebody's just going to say, oh, well, I'm jealous of what they got going on, so let me come over here and report this during our first game of the season. And I'm going to spend my entire day doing this. Like, it's just weird. It's really weird.
It's like those stupid bots or whatever that, like I always report those, like, when you're, I don't know if you notice this, but like when you're in the like when Kyle Shanahan talks or the 49er players talk, and it's like you see those like porno bots and stuff, like I always report those to get them kicked out of the thing, because I hate that shit. I'm like, really? Like, really? This is where you're like trying to get your shit? Really?
I know. It's so annoying.
Like, get the hell out of here. Like, come on,
all right, man. but yeah, this was, just like I said, a short overreaction show. We're gonna be doing these after every game. Normally TL will be with us. I do want to send out my prayers and thoughts to him because he wasn't feeling well this morning and went to the emergency room. So yeah, brother, my love is all with you, and I hope that you're feeling better and you get it, whatever it is, figured out. And we'll be here.
And I'm sorry the 49ers couldn't help you feel better. Now you feel worse.
Maybe that's what started it. Yeah, it was already knew it was coming, like, shit, my head's starting to hurt. Oh, the 49ers are going to lose.
Right? TL's like, I'm going to the hospital ahead of time because I know we're going to lose. I'm getting you out of the way.
All right, but I appreciate everybody that hung out with us this little time. Tia, David, even you, Jeff Barber, and Caesar, Joel. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for a little bit. Everybody's giving, hey, Fernando, just in time for us to say hello and goodbye. But everybody's putting up prayers up for you, TL. We hope you're doing well, that you're feeling better.
I hope you get better.
And yeah, we'll see you guys sometime this coming up week. And maybe we'll try to drag Denise on with us again. Thank you, Denise, for filling in. I appreciate you coming on. Much love, everybody. Stay safe. Spread love. No hate.
Peace. Yeah. Spread love, not hate. Peace out.